you want to pick your product. So if you've been following the guidelines, the direction, the advice that we've been giving you in previous modules, you now have a huge to have these resources in place in advance of us actually creating the warm-up email sequence. So first and foremost, you need to pick your product. So if you've been following the guidelines, the direction, the advice that we've been giving you in previous modules, you now have a huge swipe file of emails, and you have been identifying the products and services that your competitors are selling. And if you remember, I told you to compile a list of the top 3, top 5, top 10 products that are out there. And now I want you to go and pick one of these. So again, the 4 criteria that I want you to use in order to pick a product for you to move forward with and sell in this upcoming email sequence is number 1, you want to pick a high quality product. Okay, you want to pick a high quality product. The idea here is to recommend high quality products that people see tremendous value in, that do in fact benefit them. Because if you create all of this trust and then you recommend a garbage product, well then, you're done, you're cooked, the game is up, the game is over, you're just going to waste your time and your money. So you have to select high quality products. Number 2, those products and services need to have excellent advertising. Let me switch off my cell phone here, excuse me. Excellent advertising. You have to be selling a product or service that is designed to sell well. All right. There is a product that I've wanted to sell in the paleo space. It's an organic wine service. So it's a service that essentially has this delicious wine, and I've tasted it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't have any of the gunk in it that causes headaches and hangovers, and it's made with like pretty much paleo ingredients. But I can't, like, it's, I am selling it, but like they're not prepared. They don't have great advertising. Their advertising sucks, and therefore, in order for me to sell it, I have to do like a really superior selling job, which, I'm not that, interested in doing. So that to me is like, I'd love to go sell that product a lot more than I am, but those guys just really don't have their shit together. They don't have great advertising. So it's not really worth, my time. So what you want is you want to have, number 2, the product or service that you're selling needs to have really savvy advertising. Really, really good advertising, or else the idea itself needs to be a snap. It needs to be a snap. So, it needs to be a snap for you to understand. So the product that I'm promoting in my warm-up sequence is actually a service called ButcherBox. And the idea of ButcherBox is that, the ButcherBox meat is literally the safest, healthiest, cleanest meat in existence. So 99% of all meat sold in America is grain-fed meat. ButcherBox is grass-fed meat. And therefore it doesn't have hormones, it doesn't have antibiotics, it doesn't have all of these disease-causing things. And in the paleo space, that idea alone is enough for it to sell. But ultimately, you do want a product or a service that has good advertising. Number 3, you want to be selling a product or service that has an affiliate program. Okay, so you can't sell it if they don't have an affiliate program. If they don't have a way to pay you for sending people their way to buy, well then, we can't do business with them if they can't pay us, right? It's all about the money. And the 4th thing that we want, if we can get it, is we want to select a product that, multiple competitors are promoting. So if multiple competitors in our niche are promoting a specific product, that to me would be a very, very good product to go and promote, because it's working somewhat universally in the space. It's obviously a really hot offer that is just making people money if a lot of competitors in the niche are actually promoting it. So pick a high quality product that has great advertising, that also has an affiliate program, that your competitors are promoting as well. So that a lot of your competitors are promoting, and you can rest assured then that by starting there, at least you're starting with a product that has a very, very high likelihood of making you money with your list. Okay, so go pick that product, pick it now. Don't spend more than an hour on it. Just go get the facts. Okay, this isn't a creative process. This is just the facts. Is it a high quality product? Does it have good advertising? Does it have an affiliate program? How many of my competitors are actually promoting it? Next up, you want to find 6 topics of interest. And I've taught this to students in the past, and a lot of them kind of failed the test. So like, for example, I'm in the paleo diet niche, okay? So what is what are 6 topics of interest? And I've had people come back to me and say, I don't know, they're just interested in paleo, right? And the answer is no. No, they're not. There's so many different sub kind of interests in that niche. How does paleo get rid of arthritis? How does paleo get rid of diabetes? Does paleo work for heartburn? Does paleo get rid of cardiovascular disease? Another topic of interest is the quality of the foods that you buy at the supermarket. A lot of the people in that space are worried about it. The other thing is the cost of being on paleo. Paleo is expensive. It can be expensive if you don't know what you're doing. So these are all topics of interest within the main topic itself. So where do you get these 6 topics of interest? You go back to your swipe file. You start identifying, what is it that my competitors are talking to my prospects about? What topics are they talking about? So when I first started out in the paleo niche, I got all of that information from those emails. I saw that first and foremost, they're looking for recipes. That was my lead magnet. My lead magnet was the 10-day paleo diet meal plan. Recipes for breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, and snacks. Because that's primarily kind of what everyone is searching for. They're searching for recipes. But from there on, they want to know, they want to know how to save money. They want shopping lists. They want all sorts of information got to do with improving their health, specific ailments like arthritis, diabetes, heart disease. Forgot. They all want to lose weight. Every last one of them want to lose weight. So I got all of this information from studying my competitors, from going in and reading those emails and listening and watching and seeing what it was that they were talking about. So I need you to do the same. I need you to start reading those emails, and I need you to identify the 6 hot topics that all of your competitors are just talking about repeatedly. Because each one of those 6 topics is going to become the topic of one of your emails. You need to identify the value you want to give and how you're going to deliver it. So one of the things that I saw when I signed up for everyone's email list is that a lot of people were selling shopping lists, paleo shopping lists. They were selling them for $29.95, $19.95, just shopping lists for like Publix and Costco and Whole Foods and stuff like that. So what I decided to do was I thought, oh wow, that's really neat. I mean, obviously, if a lot of people are selling that, then that's a hot topic, So in order to add value, as a way of adding value, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go and hire a writer, a researcher and a writer to create a bunch of handy-dandy shopping lists for me. And I'm going to give them away for free. I'm going to give them away for free. So, that's me kind of identifying the value that I wanted to give and how I wanted to deliver it. How I wanted to deliver it was essentially I just put it into a PDF, that could be printed and stuffed into a lady's handbag and taken to Publix when shopping. So That's an example of identifying the value you want to give and how you want to deliver it. Okay? Value comes in a lot of ways. It can be a report, it can be an article. We're going to cover all of that stuff in a little bit. But ultimately, you have two opportunities, two strategies that you can employ in terms of, uh, giving people value. You can compile or create the value that you want to give. So compiling the value would be, hey, I understand that people want paleo shopping lists. So I'll go and find a blog post or an article that gives a shopping list away for free. And in my email sequence, I'll give that link away for free. I'll say, hey, a big question people have, in when they first start out in paleo is, do you have any shopping lists for Publix, Costco, or Whole Foods? So what I've decided to do is I've gone out and found what I think to be the very best shopping list for you to use when you're shopping in Publix. Here's the link. Check it out. Let me know what you think. And that would be a way of like kind of compiling valuable content. Now, creating content would be more what it is that I have done in my email sequence here, which is I went out, hired a writer and a researcher to go create that report, those shopping lists for me, and now I'm giving them away in a PDF. That's an example of me creating the value that I want to give. So you can compile it in the form of, you just go out, you find videos, you find articles, you find blog posts, you find interviews, you find podcasts, so on and so forth. And you're just like the reporter that's reporting on what's going on. Hey, here's a great resource. I just listened to this. This is an absolutely fabulous tip. I just saw this video and I learned this secret. Go check it out. That's you serving people. It's just that you're serving people in by not creating your own unique kind of value, but you're directing people elsewhere. My personal preference is that you create the value yourself. But let's be very clear. Both ways work. And the difference between the success of the two is not whether you compile your value or whether you create your value. That's not the difference between success and failure. The difference between success and failure is how you build the trust. Okay? So we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But with that said, my preference is that you create the value yourself. And for a few reasons. First, it's very cheap and very quick and quite simple to create the value yourself. If you were to go out and compile 4 or 5 links to paleo shopping lists, in Publix, for example, well, then you can just turn around to a researcher and a writer and you can say, hey, here's the research that I have compiled for you. And what I'd like you to do is create a unique shopping list that I can give to my people, and I need it done in like 24 hours. And you can just pay like 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks for that. So it's very easy, it's very cheap, and it's fast. You can go to Upwork, upwork.com, have someone there literally do that for you in a jiffy. The other reason why I prefer it is because the act of giving a gift creates more value in and of itself. The act of giving a gift, it's like, hey, I created this for you. Here it is. Please accept it as my gift. Go download it now. There's an increased perception of value in operating in that way. Your tribe will think oh, I just got a gift, which they did. So it's just creating value, just has creating your own reports, creating your own forms of value, which we'll cover here shortly. Just it creates this idea that what it is you're giving is A, more valuable, and B, there's this gift dynamic that takes place. I'm giving you a gift, and if you give someone a lot of gifts, when it comes time to asking them for something in return, they're a lot more willing to reciprocate and give you money, essentially. So you have an opportunity to compile or create the value that you want to give. Both strategies work really great, but my preference is that you create the value you want, because you can literally go and get like 10 reports created for like a few $100, and now you have 10 gifts that you can offer people, and it will feel like Christmas to them. So that is it. Pick your product, find 6 topics of interest, identify the value you want to give and how you want to deliver it. We'll cover that in a little bit. Then compile or create the value that you want to give, and that is it. So let's move on now to the next video. All right, so what we want to do here is we want to gather